Okay, I'm driving right now to pick up, I think it's a 16-footer flat back, not the wide transom, but the flat transom, Sportspal. It's gonna need new foam. It's got, and it's missing a few ribs, obviously, but it's $100. It's got a couple small holes in it, no problem. It looks a lot like the Canoe I got before. I think it's in better shape than my first Sportspal. But anyway, it's a lot farther drive than I wanted to, just over 2 hours each way. I gotta do it at night because the kids are asleep, and it's better for my wife if I'm at that anyway. So here I am. Follow my journey, my another Sportspal journey. All right, this is my 14-foot flat back, I guess you call it, flat stern Sportspal, and it has seen some better days. It's on the tilt. There we go. So oh yeah, it's gonna need some reconstructive surgery. Got hit by a tree, so I got for $100. I drove a little over 2 hours each way. It's got a couple holes in it. We're gonna need all new foam. Patch up the holes. I'll worry about the paint later. I gotta put in a new transom back. We'll take that out, and we'll put a piece there too. That's a piece for the rudder for if I want to put the sail on, get a sail, but probably won't be doing that. I'm now remembering what the other one was like. You watched my other video. I picked up my first Sportspal. Looked very similar to this. I don't know how many rivets, if any, I'll have to replace. This didn't seem too bad, but I will look into it. All right, the only number I can see is 714 ST, so that means street, and 816. Now my other Sportspal is a 1428, and that puts it into the 60s, late 60s. I don't know if this means anything, or if this is just when, maybe this was just the store it was bought from once upon a time. Not too sure when they started making these ones. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, here we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna see kind of what I've gotten myself into. I'm starting to learn. I got too excited. I was gonna go start buying a bunch of stuff, buying all the foam, but I got a lot of steps to do before I do that. So I'm just gonna start. First steps, take out the ribs, take out the foam, and see how much money and time this is actually gonna cost me. So that's what we're looking at. Take all this dirt out and close it down. Go to foam. Oh man, quite a twist in it. And then instead of getting the proper foam for the lining foam on the inside, the interior foam, because that was upwards of 200. Well, the 12 foot was $200, so I don't even know what the 14 foot was. I looked into what the foam was made out of, and the Sportspal foam is called an etho foam, and because I was thinking about doing these floor mats, the interlocking floor mats, and I looked up the type of foam that is these floor mats, and the foam, this foam and the etho foam, they're very similar. I think the only difference, they're all waterproof and whatnot. I think the only difference is the etho foam is a little bit more durable, but these were on sale for $10 a pack. I only needed 4 packs. There's $40, and this is all this is going to cost me. Now, having said that, I already have some of the things that I would need. The first Sportspal cost me a lot more because I didn't have certain things. So I still have the paint, which I think I'm going to paint. So over half a can here. So I don't have to do that. What else do I have that I don't need? Just tools. I got to replace some of the wood. I have lots of wood. I have lots of stain, so that's not going to cost me anything because I have those things. So disclaimer, this only cost me $295 because I have a lot of other things. But if you're like me, you probably, and you're watching this video, you probably have a lot of that stuff too. So here's a $295 14-foot flatback Sportspal canoe restoration. Here we go. First thing I'm going to be doing is loud, and it's to bang out all the dents and try and straighten out this, whatever that middle thing's called, I forget, because it kind of goes up and then down. That's where the tree landed on it. I've already kind of stood on it a little bit. It was worse. Straighten it out. It's got a good little twist in it too. Gotta get that twist out. So I'm pretty much just gonna be jumping up and down on this thing for the first little bit. So I've scraped off all the sealant around all the rivets, mostly down the center. Up in here, the sealant's still pretty good, so I'm just going to give it like a scrub. Some slugs and bugs up in there, a little dirty from when I was draining it. So I'm just chipping off what comes off easy. There's a metal plate, big rectangular metal plate on all of them, and I don't think I really need to mess with that, and it's making me think I don't need to replace so many rivets, because I was going to replace all of them, but I think I'm just going to chip off what is coming off easy and then cake it with that sealant. And I'll just keep doing that to all 6 of them. So I'm going to take that piece of wood from the transom, use it kind of as a template to make the new piece. I'll also have to make a piece for the back. Now I'm going to assess the 2 holes and show you how I patch those. So what you do to patch is you cut out the piece at least an inch around the hole, and then you drill holes all the way around, half an inch apart, and then you cake on the sealant, put on the aluminum, put in the rivets, and then cake it with the sealant again. And then on the inside, just cake it with the sealant. Yeah, so that's how you do it. I'll take a picture of the actual paper that comes in the repair kit. This is also what cut some of the costs for me, is I had this repair kit previously from the Sportspal, so and a lot of the materials left over. So onto the holes. So these are the things you need for the patch kit. Drill with a, what is it, a 3/32 inch drill bit, and you'll need a drill bit too for the rivets, a pair of cutters to cut the aluminum. I cut them the size for the 2 holes that are in the Canoe, 600 grit sandpaper, and you got your sealant here, which was delivered within 1 day, less than 24 hours of me. I'm about 4 hours away from the dealership. I'll take a picture of this. This is what comes with the repair kit. And you got your rivets back here. There's some gunk in here. I just took out a rivet here. There's just crap in there. I think it's going into the canoe, and then I'll get it. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a bunch of sealant on a rivet, plug it. And that'll kind of serve as a plug, hopefully. With the damp cloth. Some mineral spirits to clean my hands, so I got covered in that sealant. Seal all the inside. Okay, so I've seen, well, that Get Nanny Outdoors guy, he's got the rag and the water. I have nothing but trouble with the rag and the water. I don't know how he does it. So I forgot that last time I just started smearing it with a stick. It seems to work a lot better. This stuff's on the inside anyway. Now I can fix that. Fix up in here. Any smearing I need to do. Again, I'm probably just really bad at it, but this is a better way for me. Okay, all sealed up. I'm just gonna wait for it. It says it's not tacky within an hour or after an hour. And then, I don't know, we'll see what our next step is after that. So this was missing a rivet, so I'm gonna put one in. There we go. Got the transom here. I'm just gonna trace out roughly. So each one was cut with an angle. So I figured out the angle. I did on the other side, and I connected those two lines, and then that's gonna be my guide. I'm gonna cut the angle. Bad for a shoemaker. Sand those down. Beauty. All right, so I took this board out and I roughly measured how big the back part of the transom should be and is. And this is what I got. So I'm gonna do that. Should be about this square there. Okay, so this is where I'm saving all the money. This was $40 for them at $10 each. They were on sale at Canadian Tire. That's going to be my inner lining, and I did get the actual Sponssons, $72.99 from sale, plus about probably $70 I'd say in the adthane, the urethane. I only used 2 of the containers, so you really only need 2 of them. But yeah, we're almost ready. The sealant is pretty much not tacky anymore. It's been over an hour. I don't know if I'm going to paint it. I don't know. I have the paint. We'll see how far we get, and we'll see if this actually works. This might not work, but it was $40 instead of over $200, and that's where it's kind of like the budget, showing you how to do it on a budget. Maybe in a couple of years the foam will deteriorate. I don't know. Like I said, I did a little bit of research, which means I googled for like 10 minutes and found that this, I forget what kind of foam this is called, but it's not the same foam as the Etho foam for that the actual Sportspal Sponsons are made out of and the actual liner is made out of, but a lot cheaper and might be easier to put in. And I put these mats down anyway for my actual Sportspal to protect that foam. So like I said, keeping all this under $300 all in. See if it works. Oh, also really sharp X-Acto knife. So what I think I'm going to do is go down the middle first with the mats, and then so I can interlock there, keep it straight, and then add the sides as I go. All right, I'm not saying this is way better, but man, it all fits so nice so far. Just gotta do half pieces up the sides, but that was like so nice and easy so far. All right, I don't know, but I think I figured it out, Sportspal people. It's so much easier to put in, so much cheaper. I might be jinxing myself right now because I'm only kind of not done yet, but so far pretty awesome. All right. Not bad, I say. $40. $40 liner. I just gotta put the ribs in and see. Well, it's kind of hell. I'm not gonna videotape anymore. I don't really have, some going great and some going not so great. So I'll just show you when I'm done. Step down. Step down. Tight, tight. Then I step there. Then I wedge this where I can, that way or that way. Then I get a hammer and I kind of hammer it and it kind of straightens out. But everyone's different. Some go easy and some do not. So I made an executive decision. I was missing 2 ribs up front. So instead of putting the second rib back here, which I don't really think I'll need, I'll try and fix that third one, but I'm honestly okay with it, I think. So I cut this one to size and I'm gonna put it up here. All right, I think I'm done. I'll just go through it. Lots of mistakes there. There's number 2 that I use at the front instead. Some of them got to the point where I just kind of had to say that's as good as it's gonna get. A couple of these through it. I think there's one more up there. But that was in my other one too, even when I bought the expensive foam, so it's not necessarily because of the mats, probably just because I'm not very good at putting these ribs in. And I don't know if we're missing one there or not. Looks like probably are. That's okay. If I had to do it over again, because these were tight before I put the ribs in, if I had to do it over again, maybe I'd put the foam and the ribs in as I go, so that didn't stretch any of it apart, but not too bad for 40 bucks. I also don't know what age this is. That's all I could find. 714 ST. I don't know what that means. It's an address. 816. I doubt this is one of the 816th. Maybe flat pack? I don't know. This might have been from like a previous dealer or something. But I still haven't found. I can see the outline of the decal, but I can't find the number anywhere. And usually they're like right here, but I'll have to try and find it. Okay, now I'm going to, I think I'm going to paint it. So now I'm going to wash all the dirt off. Okay, so I don't know what it is about this sealant. This happened to me on my last canoe, and I thought for some reason it would be different this time, but it's not. But the paint, the marine paint that I used, does not dry ever over the spots where there's sealant. So it just comes off at the touch. So instead of what I did last time, was just let it wipe off on me every time I touched it, all over my clothes, I'm just gonna give it a little wipe, help it out, and because we don't care that the sealant's not painted. And this, I'll give it a start, and then it's all over everywhere where I patched it. See, watch it comes right off. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get for the bottom. It's pretty much dry to the touch. Now I can turn it over and paint the other side. And we're not gonna worry too much about a little bit, because it gets, as we know, scratched up and dinged. And if I put too much thought into it, I'll care too much about it getting scratched up and dinged. And I don't want to. Alright, so time for the Sponsons. And this is the hardware it comes with it. Bunch of washers. And Phillips screwdriver. So all I need is your wrench and drill. I'll put them on. Now I saved a couple, I think there's like 4 old washer type heads from the first Sportspal that are left over. I'm going to use for the Sponsons. I'm going to put them somewhere. This was also from my 12 footer. I never really understood what it is. Maybe you can tell me what this is, but for now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I attach these Sponsons on, the inside bolt, I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put my line in there for when I want to change my lure. Maybe my line will latch into that. Then I don't have to chase my line around while I'm in the canoe. So that's what I'm going to use it for, but tell me what it's for, because I really don't know. So I poke on the inside first, so that I know where to go through on the foam. And since we're at the front, the only reason I'm going so far near the end, this one, is I remember how far to the end I needed to go. So one of the ribs is right on the hole for the last thing on the Sponsson, so I gotta drill a hole through the ribs. Okay. Okay, so my time lapse got interrupted by my child again, so I decided to just do it. I'll go over it with you. Like I said, it's pretty simple. What I do first is poke a hole. Well, no, I poke a hole through here, so it pokes a hole through the rubber. Then I go through here, so I know where I'm going here, and I take it out, put it through that side. I've got the loops on the inside for the bungee cord, for some storage. And I go around, just tighten everything up. I'm gonna clip these off. Sticking out there. And pretty happy with it. It's got a bit of a bend. See that little, I wish I could just like that at the end to give it a twist, but like I said, for under 300 bucks, all in. It's not looking too bad so far. Now I just have to finish the wooden transom back, and that's pretty much what I'm gonna do with it, I think. Maybe one more coat of paint on the top, because I only did one coat, but it all gets scratched anyway. Like I said before, the more time and effort I'm gonna put into it, the more I'm gonna worry about it and not treat it the way I'd love to treat it, just bang it around. Anyway, here we are so far, looking good. I decided to do one quick second coat on the top because it dried enough for me to do it. You're supposed to wait 18 hours or something for the second coat, but I'm not doing that. All right, these aren't the easiest to come out, but I'm getting some of them out. I can at least get the top two screws, and then I kind of made the board like half an inch too short, so the bottom screw, and I gotta remove those screws, and that's kind of how it will attach. I went around and clipped off all the bolts from the sponsons that were sticking out. Okay, let's do the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm done for now. I'll make seats soon, but not in this video. It'll be another video. I'll say the good is I think these foam mats are gonna work. It was $40 instead of 200, over 200. Other good, I guess, just the price. All in all, good. Only took about a day and a half of work here and there. I'm happy with the transom, and it's nice and solid in there. I think it's gonna, I haven't even tested it yet, but I did another one, so I don't think this one's gonna leak. The bad is it's beat up. It's beat up, let's be honest. The bottom's pretty beat up. The spine's pretty busted from that tree down in there, but you don't see that when it's in the water. All right, and it's got a good crooked, it's pretty crooked there. I'll still try and straighten that out. Not the bad, you can see on my finger from the sealant, like I said before, it's not holding the paint, so that's just gonna happen until it goes in the water a few times and dries off like the other one. Other than that, I'm super happy. Under $300. I even have ordered the decals, so they should be coming in soon. Stay tuned. I'll do a update with the seats and my fishing setup, and I'll do another update in my other Sportspal too. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. It's my 14-foot flatback